Get into your word, get into your book, get into your spirituality, and then get some good habits. Everything we're doing are habits. If you're going to be a slave to something, be a slave to a good habit.
All right, welcome to another edition of the Journey to Freedom podcast, where we are talking to 100 Black men in the year of 2024. We also know 2024 is the year of a presidential election, and we have been hearing a lot on the airwaves or on the media or on the social media about Black men and their place in American politics. And so that's not what we're going to spend a lot of time on today. We're going to spend a lot of time on talking. We are going to spend time talking with Kenneth Bates today. But one thing I just wanted to make sure that I kind of talked about is the reason that we're doing the podcast. You know, when I think of why would I want to interview 24 or 100 Black men in 2024 is because I know, we've been talking about, and if you've watched any of these shows, and I would love for you to be not a fly on the wall, but I'd love for you to subscribe and love you to listen to these. And whether we're talking about being a dad or being an entrepreneur or being, a community activist or just being, a great husband, those are things that sometimes we don't talk about. You know, um, I want to highlight doing, as we do the Journey to Freedom program, highlight doing some barbershop talks, but taking those barbershop talks and enhancing them. Because, if you've been around any Black men and you've gone to a barbershop, you can imagine how intense it can get inside the barbershop, talking about things that in the many cases don't matter. Most of you have seen the movie Coming to America, and they're talking about it's such a great scene when they're in the barbershop because they're talking about Muhammad Ali, not whether he's a boxer or not. They're just talking about his name, and that he's the greatest. And so that type of stuff happens all the time. But what I really want to get into, and our 5 pillars, our trust, faith, identity, health, and finances. Because we don't talk a lot about what does it mean to trust. We don't talk a lot about relationships and what does it mean to be a dad and a father and what goes along with that. We don't talk about our money at all. Our money seems to be something that is taboo. That we just say go figure it out. I had to figure it out. You figure it out. And so, or we don't. We feel shamed or embarrassed about our situation as consumers. Maybe we don't own a house or we don't own cars, and or we pull up in this really super nice car and everybody thinks we live in this certain neighborhood that we don't, because we're parking that in front of an apartment complex, because we want to make sure that we look the part. And so one of the things that I found, and Kenneth, maybe you can attest to as we get into our conversation, is that when we truly get together and we truly start creating relationship, and when we really start talking about some of the things that matters in our life, we start to excel. We start to exceed. We go beyond what we even believed we could do when we were kids. We go beyond the neighborhood things that we did when we were playing outside. And I can tell you're old enough to know you get to play outside until the street light goes off, and then you gotta get your butt inside. We get to do some of the fun things later in life. There's all these programs sometimes that are for, that have been developed for us, which is because we get to stand on the shoulders of giants who paved the way. And so maybe we, in high school or college, we got to be part of, well, then we do that, right? And we kind of learn these things, whether it's, for some of our guests, it's been like the boys club or the children's club or the Y, or we've had great mentors when we were, or 17 or 18 or 19, and even into college, for those of us who got to go to college, great coaches and that kind of stuff. Then we get married and we start having a family, and we turn 28, we turn 29, we turn 30, and we go, okay, what am I supposed to do now? Where's the program? What am I going to do? And so I see you smiling, so I can tell that might be part of the things that happen. And so today we get to have Kenneth Bates on the call today. We get to have, I don't know if they go by Kenny sometimes or just Ken, but he's excited. We were talking a little bit right before we got started here, just about the relationships and the people that he has in his life. That he gets to get up every single morning and be able to have some incredible relationships that get him excited about the things that he's going to do in life. Some of us get up and go, "Oh man, another day at work." Oh man, or we get up and just, we start thinking about, also we got to do this. I've heard from folks on the podcast that maybe be going through a rough relationship and wake up thinking, is this the day? Is this the day that we decide that we're going to break up, or is this the day that I'm going to have to quit my job, or my job's going to fire me because I pushed back a little bit? And so we don't want that to happen. And so through these podcasts, through you being able to listen and be part of this, we want to make sure that you get different ideas, different people from different parts of the country, right? Kim's from Texas. I'm from Colorado. We talked to folks from New Jersey. We talked to people from California. I talked to somebody last week that was from Seattle, Washington. We're getting the entire United States, different experiences where we grew up. I know it was different growing up in Texas than it is growing up in Colorado. So I know that they're
Nah, it's all the
night
same,
and
man.
day. Oh, I can just say the heat is a whole different thing that happens there. And so, thank you for being on the show today. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to learn from you, to grow from you, and to see why you're excited about life. And like I tell all guests, I want to hear your story. That's probably the most important part. Start wherever in life you want to, and we'll just go from there. Thank you for being on.
First off, man, I want to say thank you, Dr. Brian. Thank you for this opportunity, man. First podcast, so everybody bear with me. I started Temple, Texas, born in '72. I just turned 52 years old. Upbringing was normal for inner city. It's not inner city in Temple, but but for the urban community, it's regular upbringing. Me, my mom, and my brother, we had different dads. They were around enough. My dad was not. Didn't really get to know him until I was like 32. So
Okay.
it was cool. I met him a couple times, so it was never had the longing for where's my dad. I was every day was I got to wake up. I've always been who I am. I look back and I see I've always been who I am. I'm okay every day, just waking up and
Mhm.
forth and forth. So yeah, graduated high school. Started college. Started
All right.
college for one semester.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All
I went
right.
to the military. I went to the army, man. I had to go to the army. Got in some trouble, regular urban story. Got in some trouble, and I was already signed up to go to the military. Knew a few soldiers. I had a dream of buying a Corvette, man. So I was gonna go to the army for 5 years and buy me a Corvette, and the rest is gonna be history.
Gotcha.
And got in. Really wasn't for me. I noticed that early on. I was still in the hood. I was still in the hood street. I was in the street. So got out after a while. Didn't even finish my whole 2 years. I made a deal with my captain and stayed lay low until he got my paperwork going out, and I got out amicably. General and honorable. Um, but it taught me so much. It taught me I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be who I am without just the discipline that it taught me. I've always had a semblance of discipline. Mom was a hippie. Yeah, she was a hippie, so it wasn't out. It was 16 when she had me. Wasn't that many years apart, so we grew up together. And free spirit. I always been a free spirit. I like the natural flow of things. I like nature. I love nature. I love organization within the flow of nature, if that makes any sense. But military, got out, came back, did all kind of jobs, factory jobs. Went to barber school, went to truck driving school, contracted overseas. At one point in high school, I was a beekeeper, so I know people.
Really?
Yeah, I was a mechanic in the army. Overseas, I was an HVAC mechanic. I did MWR mechanic. Jack of all trades. They say master of none. Everybody never say still better than one. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
If I know how to swim, it's good. Unless I got to climb some trees, I need to know how to do both. So all the jobs that I've had plenty jobs. All the jobs that I've been a part of kind of prepared me for what I'm doing now. Is bringing all walks of life together, all communities to better everybody's situation. If you're an investor, I have something for you. If you just need a job, I have something for you. If you're ready to start a business, entrepreneurship, I've done all these things. I have my own trucking company, work for a trucking company. Like I said, I've contracted overseas. Just all the things that I've done kind of led me to trying to and fighting for my disability. Uh, 16 years, man, I fought for my disability and finally got over the threshold. And so I'm a real proponent of helping veterans get what they deserve, man. Um, Anybody need any help, call me, reach out to me. I don't know it all, but I know somebody that knows something. I promise you I do. I'm here to help for that's what I'm Helpy Hepperton. That's what everybody call me, Helpy Hepperton.
Okay.
I've always been that way since I was little. As a teacher's pet, as bad as I was, mischievous. Wasn't bad, I was mischievous. So I'm always willing to help somebody. So my whole mission in life now is I work real hard to get my VA to where it is. So I could give my time to give to others. And I told myself I would be retired before I got to 50. I was 47 when the VA got me to where I am, and I've just been working on it ever since, man. Building myself up, financial literacy. I'm real huge. Financial literacy is real big around me. We didn't grow up with it. Don't know anything about it. So I studied the history of money. I'm a real big nerd, so I studied the history of money. Anything I want to learn, I just research it, and they make it so easy with these phones, and you have no excuse not to know. If you want to know something, just don't be lazy. It's in the book. I promise you. It's in the book. It's on the podcast. It's on YouTube. Figure it out. So it just led me to where we are now, man. With all the industries that we're tackling as a whole. I got some real big things in store for all of us, man. It's not just me.
Good, good, good. All right. Um, as I'm hearing your story, and your story is not like those of others, where it sounds like you had a teen mom that you had, that yet you didn't have a dad that was around the house. Were there people went into the army? Were there people or folks that are around during that time that help you develop your identity? I'm noticing in behind you, I think I see Bob Marley and Dr. Martin Luther King. And, I don't know if those folks were figures later in life, or were they, or did you have some people that were kind of helping you go in the right direction, or did you kind of have to stumble upon most of your identity?
I I can't recall growing up where I grew up. It was just a lot of hood stuff, partying and all that stuff going around. Had to be somebody around me that tried to sow into me. I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
Um, it was more. I was the guy that people called mostly. They
Okay.
called me, "Hey, what we doing today?" Like, I don't know. When you come pick me up, I don't know. We'll find out. So I don't know. We
Right.
were poor. We were poorer than most people, so I was here. I was open for. I thought a lot. My mom read a lot, so I've always read a lot of books and read. I'm a study. I love to know. I love science.
Hmm.
Um, we studied. We would. She let us be us. We were born, Southern Baptist. We were going to church, going to choir practice and all those. But she got older and saw some things in the church she didn't agree with, so we did church at home more. And then she let us grow up older and find our own path. So, but she would let like the Mormons would come by, she let them in. We talked to them for hours about their religion. Like I said, we're both students. She's forever going to school, but just love to learn. And uh, Yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah.
Oh no, that's okay. See, when I think about, like you said, you had a dream of a Corvette. Which many of us said we have a dream of something,
Yeah.
and that dream drives us to go do stuff. Like, this is what
Yeah.
I'm going to do. Kind of, walk me through the. I don't. I'm assuming, I don't know if you ever got the Corvette. I know mine was a Jeep, and I ended up buying myself a Jeep, even though my mom had promised me one at one point if I would just go to school. Um, but talk me through, like, why was that a dream? What was it that was about a Corvette, or what you thought it was?
Identity.
Hmm?
Identity. It was all about, the shiny things,
Okay.
Growing up in the hood, you see a few shiny things from a few people
Hmm.
and you want it. And I a lot of, drugs around the neighborhood, drug dealers and stuff, and I just seen the army. It was just we all were in the hood, so we saw that, but it just seemed like it was easier.
Gotcha. So it's like, hey, not only do I want to feel good about who I am by
Yeah.
showing others what I've able to achieve, or what I've ever got in, and then we mature, we get older,
Mm,
we have bigger identity dreams, we have bigger things that we
yeah.
want to do. At what point did you see that serving others and helping others? You talked about being able to help others with your disability and stuff. When did that become something that transitioned to helping others is a little bit more fun than, or a little bit more rewarding than
Ah,
following your
man. I, I've always, like I said, I've always been a helper. I've always helped. I've always presents from the teachers. I watch my go to my friend's house. We wash his dishes. I have them clean the room. Like, people come to my house, they watching me, but I'm a helper. So
own?
um, while I was helping and doing my part of tearing the community down, I grew up with NWA and all those guys when they came into the scene, and then I was part of that transition of in the streets, and so I had gold teeth, all those things. But I've always been a helper, and then at one point, when I don't know if it was Trayvon, one of those killings just hit me, and it just nobody was standing up for us, man. We didn't have anybody. We had a lot of voices. I hear, but I don't see. I need to see where's the change, where's the proof of these words, and it just drove me to try to start something for not try to start something to start a mind frame. We got to change the way we look at life. We have to change the way we look at life. We can't do it for each other. We have to do it for ourselves. And then you be the example. I just did a lot of they call it dark work, I guess. Sit in the dark and why are you this way? Why do you think this way? What are you thinking? Why are you thinking this way? I've been through anger management, all
Hmm.
kind of ways. I just want to learn ways to control myself. If you can't control yourself, as a man, especially as a black man, you're doomed. You're not going to go anywhere. So self control is real big for me. So stoicism. Like I said, I studied different religions, Islam, Christianity, of course. Little Taoism, and just I like to get all the good parts of everything. And man, they all say the same thing: be a good person, take care of your neighbor, believe in something higher than yourself. Just be. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Gotcha. Let's pivot to a little bit to health. Not just physical health, but let's really kind of. I want to dive, I guess, deep into, or semi deep into, mental health, because you brought up a couple things that I'd love for you to talk about that can help others that are maybe in the same situations. And you don't have to talk specifically about um, what it is that you were going through, but maybe some of the things that allowed you to get out of it. You talked about a disability that took you 16 years fighting with to be. You talked about anger management. You talked about relationships and that kind of stuff. How have you been able to get through those times when life was sending you lemons and it was hard, but you've been able to say today, I'm excited about waking up in the morning. I'm excited about the people I'm around. That I think is probably one of the hardest things for people to overcome
Mhm.
as they're fighting through this, because whether I'm not saying you were in a depression state, but whether it's depression or whether it was just bad things that kept happening, that you just said, why? Okay, I know our
Mm.
world is telling me to be and be good and be, but that's hard to do, right? When life isn't treating you right. So maybe you can walk us through some things that you did to help folks get through it.
Well, like I said, I've always been kind of who I am, so I take things day by day. Um, I don't I don't dwell on things because if I dwell on things, I'm more of a doer. I don't talk a lot. I talk a lot. I talk a lot. So I'm also a doer. So I have to watch the words that I say. So being mindful of who I was and who I am, it kept me more grounded. I live in the future. I'm always thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. A few friends of mine, a few mentors of mine helped me to slow down a little bit. My mom has always been telling me slow down, use your powers for good, all these things, like I'm Spider-Man. Um, but just getting into whatever religion,
Mhm.
whatever religion you hold on to, be for real about it. Be for real about it. It's going to church is cool. Are you really about what you reading about? Are you really about what you're talking about? Be about it, and it cannot help but enhance your life, man. So get into your word, get into your book, get into your spirituality, and then get some good habits. Everything we're doing are habits. If you're going to be a slave to something, be a slave to a good habit. Everything bad is a habit. So you're a slave to something. All of us are. So be a slave to some good habits, and it changes your life, man. It changes your life. You start just creating small habits, and one little thing at a find something easy that you know you can do, and do it for 30 days. You know you can do it, and you do it for 30 days. Just create them little habits and create them. Man, it just grows. And it's rewarding. It's rewarding to help yourself. And I never dwell on a lot of things. I can't
I
can't.
hear you.
I'm not
What
built that way.
what are some habits that you've developed that you believe serve you in a way that maybe didn't serve you in the past before they were habits, but now they're part of who you are, that allow you to succeed?
Meditation.
Habit of meditation.
Meditation. Yes.
Well, talk
Get
to me
quiet.
before you jump into something else. Talk to me how meditation works. Like, because I think all of us have a different viewpoint of meditation, right?
Mhm.
So for you, what is meditation? How does that work?
Meditation. Get in a quiet place. Get.
Okay.
I'm working on meditating in chaos. So
Okay.
meditating, get in a quiet place, and you just really quiet your mind. We, if you're like me, I get 5 seconds before something pop in my head. That's my I think my goal, my record is 7 seconds. So I'm never monkish. I'm never there. I'm not a master in it. Um, but you have to get and sit, and when the things pop into your head, let it come in. Go through it. Go through it. Don't force it out. It's not gonna go away. You're gonna throw it to the back of your mind. Somebody else is gonna throw it to the back of your mind. You're gonna keep throwing it to the back of your mind until it overflows. And that's why we just can't stop thinking because they're unprocessed thoughts. So process your thoughts. Slow down. Get up in the morning and you gotta get up 5 minutes early. Get up 5 minutes early and just take some time to just breathe. Breathing is very, very important. We know that, but we don't know that. Most of us don't breathe right. Breathe everywhere through our mouths. Breathing through your mouth, if you think about it, is really unhealthy. You're bringing all kind of toxins straight into your body. You got hairs in your nose to breathe right. Like that just, and then you breathe deeply, open up your lungs, clarity, it just gives you clarity and it slows everything. It's better for your health. Your blood pressure goes down. You don't need the pills.
Gotcha.
Just
So,
all of it,
so,
man.
so when you meditate, are you thinking about the things that are happening to you in life right now? Or are you thinking about future things? Or are you just leaving it blank to think whatever comes in?
When you're meditating, you're leaving all those behind. You do
Okay.
that. That's your day. That's when you wake up. When you're meditating, you're getting quiet and you're getting sent. Sometimes what I do, I'll think about one of my kids. I love you, Daddy, and it brings a smile to my heart, and I'll sit there with that feeling as long as I can. That's where you want to be, in a loving place, in a loving space, and it
Yeah.
radiates. You know what I mean? So the more I can feel that and I can exude that, come on, man. What if we all did that?
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I told you that my mom was a hippie, man.
No, I hear you. I just trying because it's such a topic now that people love to say, "Hey, just go meditate." And
Yes,
then you go
okay.
sit there. Am I supposed to sit on the ground? Am I supposed to
It's
lay down?
however, whatever works for you. Like, and there's YouTube. There's YouTube, man. First meditation I ever did, I was driving my truck, and I know I needed to calm down, and so the Run DMC guy, the one that's overseas, one of them. He had a video. He had a app, and I downloaded the app, and he talked me through it with the rum and all that. I've done that. I'm not a Reiki master. I'm a black guy from Temple, Texas. Rum is cool for some, and for me, it's I'm not there yet. So, but just getting quiet, and then realizing who I am, what I've done,
Okay.
what I want to do, who I want to be, and focusing on that. Don't focus on the don't. If you think about if you're thinking about something, you're worshiping it. What are you gonna worship?
Gotcha.
I'm gonna worship bad things that happen to me or good things that happen to me. I want a lot of good things to come into my life, so I'm gonna dwell on the good. The bad, there's no good and bad. It's just things. From it's good for somebody and bad for somebody else. The exact same situation is good for somebody and bad for somebody else. So it's just how you look at it. It's just a thing. Just go
Hmm.
through it.
Are you trying to in that process? Are you trying to solve problems? Or are you letting problems that there are things as you think of it? You're letting those things that are probably in the back of your mind or in your subconscious come to you on how to get through something instead of forcing it. Because I think some people stump into meditation like, okay, I have this, I have a problem with the relationship. So I'm going to
Hmm.
meditate and I'm going to start thinking about all the ways I can solve this
Hmm.
problem. And it
Put
doesn't work, right?
you're putting you still that's the ego. You're putting you inside of that. You got to get out of that. Just get out of when I meditate. When I meditate, for me, I want quiet. I want calm. My mind goes 24/7. One day I woke up and my mind wasn't going. One day I thought I went crazy. I was like, y'all hear that? Like, there's nothing. Like, this is what y'all go through every day. You don't have to think every day, all day. And I wanted more of it, so I figured that's the way to get it. Just I needed some quiet in my life. I've been living in the future forever. I have big dreams. They're not dreams anymore. I'm living my dream. Everything I've set out to do, I've knocked them down, and I've created relationships that if I can't do it, Dr.
Wow.
B can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody else can. It's just relationships, building relationships, and just meditate to get quiet. You're thinking too much.
Mhm.
We don't get paid for thinking, most of us.
Yeah, no, I love that where it's not trying to solve everything. It's just letting, I do a lot of, I watch a lot of personal development, whether they're videos or they're just talks or there's things. Um, and then I say, well, I used to say, well, that's what I need. That's what I'm putting in my brain all the time. That's what I'm putting in my
Mhm.
mind. But what I realize there's a big difference between listening to somebody talk about stuff and then just listening. That's so huge because when do I get a chance to process if I'm trying to duplicate everything they ever did
Mhm.
without processing it first for my own personality, for my own belief system, for my own who I am, then basically I'm just trying to be a puppet and it doesn't ever work. right? Because
Maybe anybody but you,
a
man.
person, right? I didn't have their experiences. I didn't grow up in Temple, Texas, right? So how the heck am I supposed to, take those without those experiences? And if you said something great, yeah, I want to write it down, and it might be a
Yes.
great idea, but until I calm myself and just process, and then say, how does what you said fit in now in my life? And it may not at all. It may be something that I don't want to. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want their life. I want my life, right?
Right. Right.
So with that, you've said a couple times about living in the future. That's the type of person you are. I
Mhm.
want you to walk me through, what does it mean to live in the future compared to living in the past. And then maybe some of the things like the journeys, because this is journey to freedom, and the freedom, is hopefully the future, and I want to live in the future of coming out. So maybe a couple ideas of things that you said you've accomplished and you're living some of the dreams that you had.
Oh
How did
man.
you do
Um. Well, the one thing I want to say before I forget it is, you have to act like you know God got your back. Like if you don't if you really believe in God, you don't think you better know He got your back. You know what I'm saying? If that's how you feel, if that was the universe, God, Buddha. If you doing what you're supposed to do, just trust, know, rest in it, and trust the process. It's just work. You have to work. Faith without works is dead. Um, you don't grind, you don't shine, you know what I mean? All those things you have to do the work to get to where you want to be. So, man, I never really wanted for much. I was always if in school, if I had a 85 in class and it's time for the exams, if I didn't really want to take the test, I would ask the teacher, what's the lowest grade I needed to pass this class? You can sign my name at 70, I'll sign my name and I'm out the class. I got better things to do. Yeah. Um, so I've never really wanted a lot. And then when I got exposed to a few different lifestyles, being around football players and just people with, who did what they're supposed to do as grown-ups and lived a certain lifestyle, I was like, okay, hmm. So at one point I wanted a 2,400 square foot house with all these things and this and that. And when I started getting closer to that goal, it became my floor. Like that's the lowest I would go. You know what I mean?
that?
And so I wanted to get a trucking company. I wanted to trucking company. The reason I wanted to get a trucking company was because I wanted to affect the way that truck drivers were paid. Like it's a rough life. It's a real rough life out there on the road, and a lot of people don't care about the drivers at all, and it's it's not fair. I've been on all sides of it. So being on all sides of it, I figured it was a way that I could help affect change. And so get my own truck, my own trucking company. Got to go overseas, got to go to the military. I just if I see it, I said I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And so I got the house. I've always wanted children when I was young. I wanted children. I don't know why. I've always wanted them and started having them and didn't stop for a while. I have 7 beautiful kids, man, and oldest is 33. My youngest is 12, man, and 6 girls and 1 boy. And it's just been a beautiful, like, I get to live this life, man. You know what I mean? I get to talk to my kids. I get to help people. I get to get help. I need a lot of help anyway. I need I help with starting this company. I started Base Logistics on the 27th of October 2022, right after my sister passed. Um, and we had started a trucking company with my dad. We named it after my dad after he passed, Ice Water Logistics, and it was tried to make it. It was rough, but she helped me achieve that goal. And I just get to man, look, I just get to live and dream and take action, and it comes to fruition. However long it takes, I love it, man. Like I said, this was once my dream. Now it's my floor, but it's my reality every single day, and I am so grateful for everything that's come my way, man, and you included.
Absolutely. I love it. So if your dreams are your floor, what's your ceiling?
There's no ceiling, man. Harold, I'm being
Your
sir.
ceiling is open the sky, right? I love it.
there's no. Man. It's open. Everything is open for all of us to. My goal. I'm unretired. I'm retired. The VA retired me. I was in 2019 with disability, and I took on this mission because it was boring. It was cool for me for a while. Then it got boring. So I was like, well, I want more friends that's retired. So how can I help them get retired? So that's first it was the truckers, and then I just come up with a plan to help people get some financial literacy,
Okay.
help them with their credit repair and all those things, and business formation. And from there we just grow. Like I started a consulting company pretty much. So I put truckers and investors together, and I run the trucks for them, and we got little packages. We have certain packages for certain type of incomes. Just want to find a way to help people better their situation. And at the same time, now it's fun over here, but it ain't easy. You know, it's some
Of course.
discipline. You're gonna have to read a few books. You're gonna have to. I started a mentorship program the other day. I went through one with Brother Darwin. He talked to me for 30 days, just every day, and what he gave into me. I talked to him about it and putting it together and making a program to be able to help people. And I like to help people, man. And it's a dream. This is a dream. All of this is a dream. You're part of my dream, bro.
I love it.
Carol,
I
no.
love it. Well, when you think about it, people who, you know, as you're saying, and you're kind of being, calm about it, but people who start companies and help other people and do mentorship and do aren't people who are just existing, right? These are people that say, "Hey, I have something, I have a goal, I want to achieve my goal, and I'm
Yes,
going to figure out how to make it happen." And so
yes,
I just so appreciate that. That you're willing to do that because your kids get to see that identity. I love, you said I have 8 children, so it is so amazing to me. I wanted them too. I was like, I thought I wanted five, and we adopted a couple, and it was, just hey, how do I take another life and make sure that that life gets to enjoy this planet, and I get to,
right.
duplicate some of myself. And now I at this point we have 16 grandkids, and just thinking about, okay, so what do I need to do? There you go. You just getting started. So I'm thinking, what do I need to do to make sure that my legacy, is in place to be able to take care of them? I mean, one of the big buzzwords is generational wealth now. And how do I make sure that my kids and my kids' kids are taken care of, not only financially, because I think that's a super important part, but as far as mentally, because I believe they have the ability to change the world,
Yeah,
that they have the ability to make a difference. And if they can see me as an example, doing everything I can to help people and change the world, then maybe they'll do the same thing. And
right.
what if everybody starts doing that, like you said before? Everybody ends up meditating and they're doing things and loving on people and wanting to change the world. What
Yeah.
does our world look like?
You
You
got to
know,
be the change you want to see, man. You got to be it.
yeah,
That's all you can do.
I know, and there's so much hate right now. It's like, why are people hating on folks? Just, is it so that they can climb on top of them to get to where they need to be? Because
It, you corner a cat, it's gonna come out fighting. That cat is cornered. That cat is on its last leg, man. So it's got to come out swinging with everything it's got. It's come on, man. We're trying to help a lot of people. More people like us are waking up. Internet is helping us get the messages out. Like it's gonna take all of us. You go to my LinkedIn page, I got every one of those hands, different colors, and it says it's gonna take all of us.
mm,
It's gonna take all of us, man. But I have to let you know I'm black first. I gotta take care of my own house before I come help you with yours. You know what I
yeah, I
mean?
hear you.
So I'm here for all of us, but can I take care of us first? And
Yeah,
so yeah, can you help us? We can help each other.
absolutely. You talked about viewing financial literacy and
Mhm.
helping people learn about money. Maybe give us a couple ideas, maybe one or two, three concepts that that person can start working on. Obviously, they're going to have to read some books and they're going to have to get with some people and do some stuff. But what's some, like, I guess, mental ways of thinking about money that you kind of have to start out with? Maybe we do that instead of the product or the
Mhm.
process of doing it. What are some mindset things about money that we should be thinking through?
First off, the way we talk about money, the way we talk to ourselves about money, the things we say. We're not broke. We're not poor. I don't like money. I don't need money. All those things. Like I've been a part of that too. So you have to change the way you see money, and you want a good relationship with it. It's not the end all be all, but it helps. I promise you. And it's really just money's just energy. It's I'm gonna give you whatever you have if I value what you have more than what I have in my hands. So, Cairo, go play on that, so please. Sorry, man.
No, I hear what you're saying, and I love the fact that he's playing in the background. I don't think we have any. I'm hearing him play marbles or something like that.
He got his little
He's
cars, man.
yeah,
I got him. I got him in the vehicles. I'm a trucker, so he's
I
into these
love it.
vehicles.
It brings joy to my heart. But when you say words matter, because it really does. When folks tell me, I used to say all the time that money is up there with oxygen. It is. It is one of the most important things that we can have. Not because money itself does something, because
Mhm,
it's what the exchange that allows us to do something. If I'm a carpenter and and I'm nailing it, and I'm going to build something, and a hammer is a tool that I have. I can't be a carpenter without a hammer. It doesn't work, right? So how do you go through this thing called life when you're thinking about it and you're saying all these things about this tool that is necessary for you to achieve? And I guess a carpenter could get mad and say, I'm never going to use a hammer again because I hit the wrong nail and I hit my thumb and it's not going to work for me
mhm.
anymore. So
You're not a
therefore, I
carpenter.
hit the hammer, right?
Well, yeah, bro. I'm not answer that one.
I'm just saying how you said that words mean something, and so that's the concept, the way we think about and see money. What's another idea that we need to have as far
um,
as
so, like I said, first change your relationship with money. Your words matter. Um, and you have to really, really get into a place, and you have to know that money. If you try, money, you can get money, but
Mhm,
money is a spiritual thing. If you in the Bible, all of those men were very rich, wealthy. If you're a spiritual person, that's how you can get it, but you won't keep it. You have to get your spirit right in order to grow it. Like if you don't sit down and listen and think that you're not the end all be all and know that something's bigger than you, it's never going to work. You won't. You got to get your spirit right to get your money right. You can. I know a lot of people that got a lot of money that are miserable. They don't have the spirit right. You have to get your spirit right. You don't want a lot of money with a bad spirit. You'll be searching for a vacation becomes Tuesday. You know what I mean? Paris becomes dinner on Thursday. It gets boring and you fall into idle hands. You know what happens with that.
mhm,
So get your spirit right, change your words, and trust. Trust that the plan that you have to have a plan, business plan, and all those things. Get all your plans together and just trust that you're doing something every single day,
mhm.
at least one thing every single day towards it, man. And it starts with your habits. It's like I said, just trust that you've done the work, and just
What
continue.
do you say to the person who's always struggling? You knew him 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago,
Hmm.
8 months ago,
Hmm.
and they're always struggling. What can you tell them that can help them with this relationship with money that can help them so they're not going to continue to struggle?
First off, know how much your bills are. The first thing you got to do is figure out how much money you have going out. I'm pretty sure you know how much you have coming in. Everybody knows that. So once you know exactly how much you have going out, then you can start balancing it out. And just knowing helps some of the anxiety. This anxiety, you're only scared of stuff you don't know.
Mhm.
If you don't know how much money you got gonna have at the end of the month, you're kind of nervous. So get your budget right, and then it's gonna, and you have to, like I said, change the way you talk about your money. Talk about yourself. I don't have it now. I have it. Act like it's in the bank and it just ain't cleared yet. If you're working towards it, and you just have to see it. You have to see it. If you can't see it, you won't have it. You have to see what you want. Know what you want. Most people don't know what they want. They have no idea. Just wake up and I've been there. A robot. Wake up, brush your teeth, all that stuff. You go to work, get the kids right, and come home and do it all over again. You got to get outside of yourself, figure out what you want out of this life, and figure out what your purpose is, man. You have to, and once you do that, then you have the same amount of money. You start cutting out some of the expenses, and your money, the same amount of money, will start piling because you're not spending as much. And if you stay dedicated to what you're doing, you're gonna start learning, and that's where it goes.
So the same guy who says, I get up every morning, go to work, come home, get up every morning, go to work, come home, get up every morning, go to work, come home, get a paycheck, have this dream of a lifestyle that I want to have. Getting up every morning, go to work, come home isn't working for me.
Right,
But yet I have this fear that says if I leave, then I'm not even going to be able to get up every morning, go to work, and come home.
right.
How do I change that mindset to say maybe this isn't the place I need to spend the next 30 years of my life?
Well,
Or
use your
it
job.
is.
Use your job. You have to use your job. And what are you doing with the extra hours you're not at work? You have to put some time. Sweat equity is very, very real, very real. You have to put forth. If you want it, you have to go get it, man. Man, I'm from the hood, bro. You hustle. You have to go get it. You have to. If you sleep 4 hours a day, you got to go get it. It's just what it is. So you have to develop a mindset that you have to want it. Like if somebody was, Eric Thomas said it. If I hold you underwater after so long, what are you gonna want? To breathe. And he said, I let you up. You gotta want what you want that hard. As hard as you want that breath, you have to want it. You have to want change, or you have to get to the bottom. It's either you have to want the change, or you gotta get to the bottom. I prefer to not get to the bottom before I start going back up. I don't want to hit bottom. I want change. You have to just, and
But,
it
but
helps.
again,
It helps to have a mentor. It helps to have a
yeah,
mentor, something to see. It
yeah.
helps.
I'm going to say, because I can say, well, Ken, I have what I really want is I want another pair of Jordans. I got 10 in my closet. I got 50 in my
Hmm.
closet. I need another Kobe jersey, and I need
Hmm.
to have the NFL ticket. You
Right,
know,
and perfectly fine to want those things. What are you gonna do to get those things? You
yeah.
don't spend your money. You spend your money. You in your money. So what you use your money for is to invest it to go get those. You have to delay gratification, man. We're in the microwave society. They want everything like this. You can get it if that fast if you want to. You lose it just as fast.
But I'm realizing all those things aren't making me happy, and
Hmm.
I'm miserable at work every day. But I got 20 pairs of Jordans in my house, and that so I stare at them, but I still have to get up every morning, go to work, come home. How do I switch that mindset that just says, wait a minute, I can get Jordans later. I need to go do some stuff right now, right?
How do you switch it? Oh man. Hmm. Because I'm pretty sure I was once that guy.
You were okay. So
Uh,
how did you do it? I mean, how
that's
you know?
what, that's what I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see. I was once that guy. I'm very sure I was once that guy. So, um, man, like I said, I've been a little different. I got tired of not living up to my potential. Most of
Mm,
us, most of us shun what's inside of us to be running with the crowd, or we dumb ourselves down to talk to people. I'm not saying dumb people, but we we don't live up to who we're supposed to be. Like some of us are scared to shine bright because it's for whatever reason. Um, live your truth. Live in your truth. Start living in your truth, and everything else will start falling into place, man. Just start. If you want to be a singer, man, can you sing? Can you really sing? Go for it. After you get off work. Don't quit your
Yes.
day job. You got bills to pay. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's got to have. You got to know what you want.
gotcha.
You got to start figuring it out.
I love what you said, about getting tired of not living to my potential. And sometimes I think what folks do is they're afraid that what others might think of them during their journey. I can sing a little bit, but unless I go get some singing lessons or get around some people who can sing really good, I'm not going to get better,
You're not gonna get better.
right? But that's okay. But I can't let those associations or those friends keep me down, keep me back
Right.
from entering my potential, right? I mean, how many times do we, if they see me in my, and I'm using this as a silly example, but they
Hmm.
see me wearing my Jordans, but do they love me for my Jordans or do they love me for the things that I want to do out of life? And
Right.
if I
Right.
think they're loving me because I got some tennis shoes,
Right.
well, now if you truly can walk around in your 10 pairs of Jordans and just be happy in your own living room, and you're cool. But if you're having to show people you got them,
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Right.
might be another portion of why you're not living up to your potential because you're too busy trying to please others
That identity.
right
It's
now.
identity. Identity is identity. It's identity theft, man. It's identity theft, bro. you,
I
you
like
stealing
that.
you stealing somebody's identity. Be you, man. Just be you. You're gonna do the best job. I promise you. I promise you're gonna do the best job being yourself. Nobody else can do it.
But being me is no fun right now.
Whew. You're gonna have fun now and hurt later, or you
Uh-huh.
gonna hurt later and have fun later. Hurt now and have fun later. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna not be fun. It's life. It's ebbs and flows, like the stock market.
Mhm.
Just higher highs and higher lows. That's all you're trying to create. Higher highs and higher lows, man. It's not fun. And some of this work we have to do is not fun. Unless you make it fun. Like, why? Who says it's not fun?
Yeah.
Who says it's not fun? If you know you have to do it, you better enjoy it. It's gonna be harder. So I make everything fun that if I know I have to do it, I'm gonna enjoy it because I know it's working towards something I want to do. So I'm gonna make myself enjoy it. And I
Yeah.
know everybody's not as loony as I am to be able to do that, but just enjoy your life. Understand that people don't make it home every day. People wake up and never make it home. Some people don't. They go to bed and don't ever get up. If you wake up, say thank you. You make it to
That's right.
bed, say thank you. And everything between those thank yous,
Hmm.
make it count. Like, what are you thanking for? What's it thank you for? Make it count. Make that dash count, man.
Yeah. The dash between those years, right? The year you were born, the year that you pass away, that dash
The,
that
the
is in between.
24 hours you get every day, whatever the calendar you're on. Whatever
Yeah.
calendar you're on, when you open your eyes, make it count.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. And you start thinking like working out, right? Going to a gym. We talk about health, and you know what it takes to be healthy, right? The amount of the substance that you put into your body, you know that some of those aren't good for you. I'm not saying not, in moderation, right? When you do it, but you can make it fun going to the gym,
Right.
and the people who do make it fun stay there and they do a good job in there. The ones
Mhm.
that don't, and it's a miserable task to get there every day. But what are all the things you can do? You can meditate when you're at the gym. You can listen to music at your gym. You can take your buddies with you and you can put workouts together and you can get strong. I mean, there's all these things that you can do to make what it is you're doing
Right.
enjoyable. And I don't
Right.
think there's hardly anything. I was even. This is a funny story. We were camping last week, and my wife and we went to I don't know, a store or something that it's Starbucks. She wanted Starbucks while we're camping, right? So we don't do camping, we do glamping. So we leave the campground and we go to Starbucks instead of you think of like the fire and the coffee on the pot. No, my wife
Yeah.
likes
Okay.
so so we're in the Starbucks drive-through, and there's a guy and there's a field out there, and they're cleaning. He's cleaning out porta potties,
Mhm.
and I said to her, "Oh, that job must be the worst job ever. Like I can't imagine sucking out poop and stuff out of." And we're watching him, and he
Mhm.
is just singing and laughing and having the best time. And we literally watched like the whole time we're in the drive-through. This man cleaned a toilet with joy. And not
Yeah.
just the toilet that you wiping with Clorox in the rim. He's cleaning some poop out of a porta potty and just as happy as can be. So you can't tell me that you can't find joy in something, right?
You have to find your joy, man. You have to find your joy. What are you here for? What are you doing? What are you doing? If you don't, it's we chase a lot of things. I tell people all the time, chase a puppy is gonna run.
Hmm.
Quit chasing. Quit chasing it. Quit chasing it. Sit in the now.
Hmm.
Realize all the blessings that you have right now. Be grateful for the things that you have right now while you're working towards bigger and better things. Just and there's no bigger and better thing than helping somebody else. So as long as your journey is worth going towards helping somebody else, man, it'll never stop and you'll never be fulfilled. You'll be you'll be fulfilled, but you'll never be fulfilled. You know what I mean? You're gonna always get up and hunger. I hunger to help somebody every day. I'm gonna work till I die. My job is to help people, and I'm gonna work till I die. You know what I mean? So I hunger for that.
And I want to give you an opportunity to kind of talk about anything that we didn't talk about yet. But
Mhm.
one of the things that I've enjoyed about this podcast with you, and one of the things that I hope people get out of it is you. I know there's an intensity about you about getting things done, and I know you figured out how to get things done. But that intensity doesn't have to be part of what is that people see all the time, that people think, oh my God, I can never be that guy because he's so incredibly intense. And he's either screaming at somebody or yelling at somebody, or just there's some people that maybe they're not screaming, they're yelling, they're just intense about they get up in the morning and they're doing this, and this. And they're saying, I gotta have this habit done, and this habit done, and this habit, I have to have this schedule, and this schedule, and this schedule, and this schedule. And then we come see you, a man who has several companies, a man who's helping people out, the man who's been able to retire, the man who's been able to do a whole lot of things and saying, I'm enjoying life at
Yeah,
every single
man.
process where I'm doing it. It's like you're that duck that's on the top of the water and the feet are underneath, but you're just smooth and sailing. So
Never let them see you sweat, man. Never let them see you sweat.
I love that. I love that we got to spend, an hour of time with somebody who's not intense, but is successful and still has a purpose in life. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank
What did
you.
we not talk about that you want to make sure that everybody understands and gets?
One thing we didn't talk about is I have a vision to kind of help the country
Hmm.
along with I've been inside the government, contracting. I have people that work inside the stuff. I know the government is lacking help, like ordering supplies and just all these contracts that I'm in the government contracting also.
Okay.
Um, and so I figured the best way to help the government is to help my people. So I did a lot of studying, a lot of work, made a lot of connections. I'm making more. Hopefully, we'll find some more with this interview. Bringing together the government and the people to fulfill these contracts is not brain surgery. It just takes a little bit of work. And I've done a lot of the work, took all the work out of it. Now I just want to bring people that want to do some of the work with people that want to do the other work to help the government. So we're building a company, more like a staffing agency. Purchasing agents, just all those things all together, and consulting agency. I'm part of a consulting agency, AEG, with Mr. Darwin Tanksley. Just want to bring people together to help us create generational wealth for each other and guide us to make some money with the U.S. government. Man, it's not untapped, especially with the YouTube going crazy about it. But most people are just doing it not here to help each other. They're here to help themselves. So I figure with what we have going on inside, bro, we can really help a lot of people. Training, it's like paid training. It's sweat equity first. You get what you get until you get it, and but the paid training will come with the more people we get involved in it. And if anybody wants to help train, anybody knows what they're doing in the government contracting space, just reach out to me. Um, Ken Bates at base-logistics.com.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, email address. Web address is www.bates-logistics.com. Just here to help, man, and I'm here to. I'm asking for help. Anybody who wants to help us to help each other. It's way more facets that come to it, but that's for another podcast, man.
Cool. I love it. So if you're looking in the government space,
Oh
Ken,
yes, yes.
he's
I've been working on
easily
it for two
talk
years.
to. Thinking about government contracts or how they work or how they move in and out, make sure you give Ken a call. So again, I want to thank you for being on the show today. I want you, for those of you who are not subscribing, please subscribe. For those of you who are not, ring the bell. Please do that. If those of you who know folks that would be great on this show, that would be people that could give a lifeline. What you saw today was, to me, almost a master class in knowing who you are and then being able to achieve your dreams within the space of who you are. And so many of us try to be somebody else all the time. And what I learned today is, slow down, Brian. You can be Brian, and
Yeah.
Brian can get stuff done, and he doesn't have to be Mr. Intense like all those some of the podcasts that I watch where I just you want to run down the street and go, wait a minute, I, I can't be that guy. I
I've been
can't.
that guy. I've been that guy before. I was going through my process. It's a
Okay.
process. It's a process. I'm here now, so I wanted to get back here.
I love it. I love it. Love it. So thank you for being on another episode of the Journey to Freedom podcast. We'll look forward to talking to you on the next one. Ken, again, thank you for being part, and we'll look forward to another episode of the Journey to Freedom podcast. You guys have a wonderful, awesome day. Don't forget you're God's greatest gift. He loves you if you allow him to, and we'll talk to you again.